warm up.
What?
Funky short. Serve it here. Work it. Jocular. We're about to get
Welcome to From Your Diaphragm. Jocular. The show where three
Best buds gossip about women's sports.
There we go.
All right. Today we're talking about the maddest topic yet. The women's March Madness.
And in order to do research for this episode, I just want to say how preposterous I think it is that if you even though the women's March Madness has more viewership than the men's, if you just type in March Madness, you're only going to get the guys. Period. You have to type in women. We have to type in women. You have to type in players with periods.
Yeah.
Baby making machines also play sports.
Yeah. Womb, there it is. March
Womb, there it is.
Titties bouncing along with the balls.
Wait, that's really good.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. We should introduce ourselves just in case people don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I am Tien Tran, she, her.
I'm Katie Kershaw, she, her.
ER Fight Master, they, them.
And here's all of our sort of housekeeping notes.
A lot of housekeeping.
But
it's fun.
We should acknowledge the fact we're on Zoom.
Oh,
It's the elephant in the room. We should talk about it.
okay. Harry's making us tell you that we're not in the same room together.
And that sucks.
It's my fault.
We all live active lifestyles.
Yes.
And we're on the go. And we have to be flexible. And we have to be there for the people we love.
And thanks to the tech broligarchy, we have options like Riverside to record and, put our faces up on the internet.
You are always thanking the tech oligarchy.
I honestly, when I wake up, I say, thank you, tech broligarchy. And before I go to bed, I go, thank you, tech broligarchy.
It's so true.
And
That's why March Madness, that's why when you Google March Madness, it's just the men's.
That's right.
Oh, that's on you.
That's on me.
Okay, cool. I need to call them right now and see if we can change it.
Well, like Tien said, today we are talking about our maddest topic yet. We are talking about the women's March Madness bracket, which was set on Sunday night.
Yeah.
We're recording this on Tuesday, so our takes are hot and they are fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's some of our housekeeping.
And you demanded it, and we've done it. Darn it. Jocular is a t-shirt.
Ooh.
And it's really comfy.
It's so comfy.
Yeah.
It's here. It's only for a limited time, and the sale ends at the end of the week. So act fast or miss out. Our copy says miss out forever. So I think that's intense, but you are going to miss out probably on this design forever.
Yes.
The
That
t-shirt
part is true.
that we wore in our promos, the t-shirt, I use it as a sleepy time shirt a lot right now. You're going to miss out on that forever. And if you want to get a deal, because I'm obsessed with deals and steals, if you sign up for our Patreon, even at the free level, you will receive $5 off. Same price as a foot long.
Katie.
What?
Katie measures everything in $5 footlongs.
It's so just $5
really
foot long. Nice, Katie.
Thank you.
And just remember, folks, that after this, we're switching to bikinis. We're actually not going to be allowed to do any ungendered clothing. It's all going to be bikinis from here on out. So get your t-shirts while you can.
Bikinis and bras.
Praise the great leader.
Yes.
While we're talking about you giving us money for exciting things like cool t-shirts, we have new levels on our Patreon. We've officially got ad-free episodes, bonus episodes, full videos of old episodes from the Jocular Vault. And honestly, it's just a wonderful community over there, and we'd love to have you.
I know. I'm seeing you all talk to each other and like leave comments with each other. It's looking really fun and really cool. So thank you for joining. And if you can find it in your gigantic hearts to share some cashola with the jocks, we'd really appreciate it. It's an important part of keeping our show going. Really, it's all we have. And this week, we're going to be chatting about how we all met, why we all met, and what it means to us. And that's going to be in the link in our show notes. And that's going to be our sort of like behind the scenes extra special bonus stuff.
But even if you just sign up as a free member, you are going to get a lot of cool stuff to check out, including the bracket challenge that we're doing with our near and dear friends at Out Sports. So you can check that out on our socials or Patreon for all of the details. Plus, we've got new pieces out all the time at Out Sports, including one that's how to make the best bracket alive, written by our lovely, talented, gorgeous, fantastic, handsome, yet I'm confused about some things, producer Charlie. Yeah, so make sure you check that out. And you can
We actually have a fucking problem. We got
That's actually a perfect segue into Charlie.
Yeah, we have some beef with Charlie, our producer.
So, listeners, this is a podcast that practices in radical honesty.
Yeah,
and Charlie has not been honest with us.
Charlie's been kind of keeping secrets from all of us.
Charlie, without permission and without letting us know, went and ran a full marathon.
I mean,
a full ass 26.2 mile marathon.
I wish I could do a reenactment with other like hired actors of what it was like yesterday morning when I opened my little phone. I look on my little Instagram and I go, Charlie ran a marathon? Then I'm thinking, was it a half marathon? Was it a full marathon? And then I'm like, did he tell me he's running a marathon and I forgot that he's running a marathon?
No, and he did it just to spite us. He didn't do it for his own wants, wishes, out of like with his own skills. He just did it to hurt us.
Yeah. He trained really hard and accomplished this incredible physical feat, honestly, just to spite
us.
Yeah.
I think running a marathon in secret is a huge red flag. Sorry to say it.
This is the second time I've heard running a marathon just like period being talked about as a red flag. I just did that Happy Wife, Happy Life podcast with our friends, and they listed running a marathon as a red flag.
Let me ask you this. Would any of you run a marathon? I already feel very confident that I will never in my life run a marathon.
No.
I would love to be a person who could do that. I'm actually reading Murakami's book right now, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. And I can tell you right now the answer is no. He's like, for the first 22 miles, and I'm like, stop right there. Stop right there. And he's like, it's actually after the 22 mile marker and I'm like, okay, well, girls, when I go to the gym and I talk about doing cardio, I'm talking about doing 0.5 miles at a 12-minute pace.
Yeah. Like I'm about to, I have a soccer game tonight. And
congrats.
Thank you. And I'm subbing in for a friend and I am already afraid it's not even going to be full field. And I'm already imagining like after 5 minutes of jogging around that I'm going to be hurting.
100%. Oh my god.
5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Anyone who's ever like, you just gotta suffer for 3 hours running and then you'll get that runner's high. And I'm like, what am I doing for the first 3 hours then?
Or I could do drugs.
Right.
Yes.
There are so many ways to hurt yourself.
Yes. It doesn't have to be with running 22 miles. I'd rather ride my little bike, listen to my little songs, and be done. Not run 22 miles. I will never do that. I went on a long walk on Saturday with my partner. My legs hurt so bad.
We're not built for this.
No.
I'm barely built for walking.
I applaud anyone who does it, but I also don't like you.
Yeah, congrats, Charlie, I guess.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats, Charlie.
I've never met somebody run a marathon and not talk about it nonstop. It's like the vegan of athletics.
I normally believe that, and you know our friend Gage. I brought up the
Do we?
Murakami. I brought up the Murakami book to him, and he was like, I mean, like the first two I did were like really difficult, but then, and I was like, wait. I know you as like a brisket making man.
Yeah.
I don't know you as like casually drop in that you've run multiple marathons, man.
Every time I see him, he brings up smoking meat.
And
There's
marathon
never
running.
been a physical activity that's been brought up.
Oh, that's interesting. The only reason why I would maybe run a marathon is so I can get to wear that little aluminum foil blanket at the end.
Tien, you should have one of those all the time just in case you get cold.
I mean, you never know.
You're
You
a
never
little
know.
guy. A lot of the audience does not know this, but Tien, you're like 4'3" and weighs about 13 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have, like, a
I'm the
jokey
smallest
thimble
person,
made.
but like maybe like the biggest Polly Pocket available.
Yes. Which
Yes,
is a
yes,
huge accomplishment.
Yeah,
Which is why, I don't know if we're allowed to announce it yet, you'll be playing Polly in Polly
Mhm.
Pocket.
Yeah, Polly Pocket, the polyamory
Darn.
version.
I
It's
would
very
love
queer.
that so much.
You're gonna be incredible.
That'd be
Produced by Margot
amazing.
Robbie. She's an ally.
She's everywhere right
Houses
now.
are connected to each other because we can all live in our own homes, even though we're all together. Oh,
Mhm. Kind of a
I
dream.
can see it now. Kind of a dream. Other things that are happening. Did you know that the NWSL started this weekend?
Yes. The youngest, there's a 14-year-old playing.
I know. How do we feel about 14?
No, I
I believe in child labor.
I know you say that all the time. No, you fights always when fights at the butcher shop. They're like, was this meat procured by a little 11-year-old?
But I went
With
to
those
the
little
butcher shop.
hands.
I went there because I thought it was the Butch ER shop. And I thought I was going to be able to get clothes. I didn't realize they were cutting up animals.
Okay, and then you were like, were these clothes made by little?
Yeah. Well, I don't want big fingers making my clothes. I'm sorry.
You can tell the
You
difference.
got to stitch and stuff.
You can
You,
tell the
you think
difference.
I'm going to be doing that?
I just want to see like a visual of you walking around a town where every like business ends with ER. So you assume you're like, oh, where's ER?
It happens more than you'd think.
No, I did see a 14-year-old start. I mean, I worry about.
I don't think it's great because you're
Yeah.
playing with full grown people and just like the injuries. Like I understand not wanting to waste your best years in
Yeah.
college or in this case high school
Jesus.
risking an injury. That totally I get that and I support players getting paid. But with the NIL deals that exist, I don't know that we I don't know. I just
also
don't you're
I worry about like, you know, the emotional like growth as well, like just being in a league that is so hard on people's bodies and mental health to be at such a young age and to be in this environment that like most adults still kind of have trouble with, like in terms of the pressures of the league and like some of the very not controversial, just like coach abuse that we've like seen from the
Yeah.
NWSL. Like, I don't know, just putting a 14-year-old in that environment feels intense.
I think and by intense you mean bad.
Yeah, I do mean bad.
But besides the 14-year-old, talk to me about the opening weekend.
Well, wait. How are we feeling about Madame LaRue stepping away from soccer for a moment?
I mean, I think it's good. I feel like that's good.
Yeah.
Fight, since you brought it for our listeners, can you give a little background
Yeah,
on what
so
happened?
Angel City's Sydney LaRue has decided to take a step away from soccer for her mental health. And
Mhm.
Sydney is obviously such a team leader and such an icon that
Mhm.
I'm like, if she needs to step away, then there's obviously a good reason. And
Mhm.
mental health is the best reason there is. So, you know, and I think it's always sad to lose players that are that, like, you know, important to team dynamics. And what good leadership to step away if you need to.
Absolutely.
I couldn't agree more.
I think as we go on, and it goes outside of sports as well, but that whole mentality of who can go the furthest, hardest, and kind of ruin their mental health and physical health and not being rewarded is going away. I hope. When I see
I hope so too.
moments like this, and the idea that yes, we're pushing our bodies to the limits, we are pushing as hard as we can, but being so in tune with yourself that you know that it's time to walk away for a minute is
Yeah.
really powerful.
It's incredibly powerful, especially coming from someone who is like such a star, has like such a large following that like I think sometimes we forget from like a lot for celebrities, people in the public eye. We are all humans first. Like we shouldn't be asking people to push themselves to the point of breaking. And I'm glad that she's stepping back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this will be our first season with Angel City under new ownership.
Oh yeah, Bob Iger.
Disney. I'm excited to see. I don't
You know what?
Daffy Duck. Huh?
I think we talk about this all the time, and we all have to be careful because of who we are in the industry in which we work.
Hey, I love Bob.
We all love Bob.
I love Bob.
We love Bob.
I love.
We love Bob.
We
We
love
love what Bob said about the people in our industry when the
Yes.
strikes were happening. We love what he said about
Yeah.
Yes,
starting
and we
us out.
Of all of the 1%ers, I think Bob is the coolest. He's doing
Yeah.
it the best.
Top of he's the 1% of that.
He's the 1%. He's
Certainly he is.
yeah.
And I think it's so wonderful that men like Bob are coming out of the woodwork to support women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make me wonder at all what their motives are and what they're trying to hide.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the values go beyond the bottom line, I think.
Oh, certainly. Certainly. Bob believes that
Yeah.
women exist. And that I know is true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Can't wait to see him at BMO. Or like
I
Bob.
can't wait.
Oh, okay. That was bad.
He better be there with getting his little snacks.
Did you know he's tall?
Is he?
No, really?
Oh,
Like how
Mhm.
tall?
tall.
I think here's the thing. I think CEOs should all be small.
I want them to be small because
All
it's
them.
easier to conceptualize. But when they are big, you're like, what?
What?
What? Wait a minute.
More of a
You-
frame to put
you-
money on.
You were supposed to go do something more enjoyable than this.
Mhm.
It's the shorter, angrier men that are supposed to do what exactly you're doing.
Yeah, you're
Bob.
tall and you're doing this.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right. Well, let's
we're gonna take a
let's
break.
end this before we end ourselves.
listen.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Get jugular.
Okay, and we're back.
And we're back.
We found out some things on the break, guys. Tien's not wearing pants. And
That's right.
I am wearing pants. They're just invisible. Okay.
Very
I'm
interesting.
wearing them.
it's none of our business. I just decided to tell the fans.
Thank you. Well, they need to since they're only listening, they need to know.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's just
Alright.
for visuals.
Well, this is what we're excited for, and this is how we even started this podcast.
Yeah.
It's March Madness, baby.
Yo.
It's the happiest time of the year. And
Yeah.
then also the most stressful time of the year. And it can be the saddest time of the year.
Oh God.
All in one.
All in one.
Mhm.
All in one.
I feel like we always should break this down. But the tournament works with like a it's seeded. And I
Yes.
don't know that I can ever do this great because it feels to me it's almost like it's very simple, but then it's impossible to explain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Selection Sunday, which happened this past Sunday, where they
Mhm.
I never know who they is. I never
No.
want to look it up. I never want to
Mhm.
know what this council is that ranks all the teams. But what happens is that all of the NCAA women's teams are broken into sort of 4 regions, and
Mhm.
each region is given a number 1 seed. And then from there, the rest of the teams are ranked and put into the different regions. And honestly, I don't ever understand.
Well, so it's a field. I'm looking now. It's a field of 68 teams.
Mhm.
Love it.
The field of 68 teams. You did a good job by saying it is. They give each region a number 1 seed, number 2 seeds, number 3 seeds, and number 4 seeds, and of course, everybody else has their ranking. But everybody is sitting around in their gyms waiting to hear who the number 1 seeds are going to be for each region.
Mhm.
And we have our answers now, folks. UCLA went number 1 overall, so not just for their region. They
Yeah.
got overall. South Carolina was overall number 2. Texas overall number 3. USC overall number 4.
But again, they're all number 1.
Yes.
Yes.
I hope that's hanging sensitive. If not, we'll take another break.
Do you agree with those number 1 seeds?
I mean, Coach Gottlieb from USC is pretty ticked off.
She's pissed, but I'm
She
like,
is fucking pissed.
Well,
I don't know.
Don Staley was pissed.
yeah,
Don
Don
Staley
Staley
was
was
pissed.
pissed too. I don't know. I gotta say, I feel like UCLA had the best record.
I do.
And they only lost. Sorry, I'm just gonna be a UCLA stan.
No, I know
UCLA
that.
had
No,
the
I
best
know you are.
record. Only lost twice, and then ended up beating the team that they lost twice to in the Big Ten tournament. And they beat SC. I'm just.
Mhm.
I'm glad that it was UCLA. And
Yeah.
I was watching I think I was watching an ESPN film about last year, and I had forgotten that UCLA was a really high ranked team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was a number 2. Was number
I think
2?
they were number 2 or 3 overall and number 1 in
Mhm.
their own region.
And then lost. Was it in the Sweet 16 that they lost?
I think
Or
they did
even
to
before
LSU.
Yes, they lost. to
Sweet
LSU.
16 or Elite 8 to LSU.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm excited that they have the number 1. I actually hope it's like this mental confidence boost that they need to finish this out. I would love to see it be them.
I mean, I think that's
Me
you
too.
get that you hope for your teams that you can do either one of 2 things. Like you have that confidence for UCLA to be number 1, and knowing what we've seen of Don Staley, it's going to put a fire under her. And now what I'm
Yes.
seeing from Coach Gottlieb and Juju, I mean, it's just going to be such an intensity since they did not get number 1. So
Well-
I think they both can work to make insanity.
Well,
Yeah, playing slided is like the best way to play.
Yeah.
Well, and that's actually, I liked that about what Dawn Staley said is in the interview where they asked her what she thought. She was like, obviously, I think this is, you're not right. They don't have the numbers to this. We had a much harder schedule. But then Pow Pow was like, they asked her how she felt about it. And she went, we're just chilling for real.
So funny. That's the competitor. That right there is like, to me, that is a competitor.
Because they record, they record the teams watching in the gymnasium. So the teams will sit around and watch to see how they get seated, and they record each team. And South Carolina watched and had just no reaction at all. So of course all the interviewers afterwards were asking them how they responded, and it was just so flat. It's totally fine, which I think is really scary.
Yeah, I think it's scary.
And makes them a violent competitor. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it all again. And they've been doing it. I could stand a little break. I won't be upset if it's them, but I could stand a little break from their reign of dominance and terror.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
rooting. I honestly would love to see some. Don't get me wrong. I love Don Staley.
We do.
I love South
Mhm.
Carolina and I love Malaysia for what I love their players. They're so fun. I want to see someone else.
Yes. I want
Yeah.
Coach Corey, man. I want Coach Corey to
Yeah.
I do
get it done.
too.
I also don't want to grow bored of or resentful to South Carolina. Like unless it's like your home state, dynasties get really boring
I
Well,
know.
and
and
really
it does
fucking
mean-
annoying.
It does mean funding too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we forget about this as fans sometimes, but like
Mhm.
winning means extra funding, and that means more money to your players, more money to your facilities, more money to your coaches, and I think Dawn's fine right now.
Yeah,
Dawn's
she's got
just do-
she's got a thick contract for like
Yes.
several years. She's good.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's another reason why I'm rooting for UCLA.
Mhm.
Me too.
I also,
Also,
am
we should-
excited.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go.
No, you go. You go.
No, you
Okay.
go.
Go. I was just gonna talk about I was gonna move on to our second seeds.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because it includes someone else that I would love to see dominate. We've got UConn, TCU, Duke, NC State. I want to see Paige fucking ball so hard in this tournament.
I do too.
Never been one to really love UConn ever.
Mhm.
In fact, dislike it mostly. But I root for her, and that's why I love this tournament because there's so many players I root for. I'm really rooting for Paige
Mhm.
to see that thing that we all know she can do, and that she has
Yeah.
that we just haven't seen due to injuries.
Paige-
Yeah, I want to see her play so well that like when she gets drafted number 1 for the WNBA in an incredible suit, I'm sure, suit and tie. Like I want it to feel like a real, almost like Caitlin Clark levels. That like
Yeah,
she crushed the tournament, she's going to go in and take over the WNBA.
Yes. And that doesn't mean you have to win the tournament.
No, I don't think so.
You know what Stewie said before, that's when there was, no transfer portal, when UConn just dominated, and then before Tennessee dominated. We really have been able to spread the talent around.
Well, I know we are going to talk about some of our like favorite players that we're
Mhm.
looking at. I'm just going to drop one of the ones that I'm excited about right now. I am excited, like my Gemini kind of gossip brain. I'm excited about another number 2 seed team, which is TCU.
Oh.
And I'm
Mhm.
excited about them in a kind of toxic way. I'm excited about them because of all the Sedona drama.
Mm.
But I'm also excited about them because of the Van List. Like I
Yeah.
think that
She looks
Haley
great.
She looks
I love
is
her.
looking great, and I want to see. I want to see like she's had such an interesting college go of playing for
Mhm.
Louisville and then LSU and then now TCU, and so I want her to have a triumphant showing.
I think she
yes.
will.
I think she will. I think she really is kind of leading that team right now. But it is that mixed feeling of I'm so excited to see her. There's that toxic thing of like how are crowds going to react to Sedona? How is Sedona going to react to those things? And how is honestly the W going to react to Sedona?
If we know anything about sports fans, they are not going to react to Sedona at all.
You don't think they're-
booed?
I think
She's
she's been
been
getting booed.
Do you think that that's
She's
going to happen in the tournament itself?
I mean, maybe. I think so.
Pockets. We can't hear it on TV, but I bet there are pockets. But right now in regular season, you can hear it.
Yeah, she's getting booed like
Yeah.
when she touches the ball and like
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it. I was born in the month I was born. I love the drama.
2 players. You guys, you both know that I'm obsessed with Kiki Rice and Lauren Bettsar.
Right,
I'm gonna
of course.
talk about them this time. I love
I
them
didn't
so
write
much.
them down because I was like, and that
Yeah.
CTN's gonna bring it.
But because I talk about them every time, and I do I love
I-
them
I
so
fucking
much.
shit.
Mhm.
The other team that I would be very happy about seeing win is maybe NC State.
Mhm.
They made a Final Four run last year, and they're led by Isaiah James and Sanaya
Mhm.
Rivers. And I love those two players so much.
Yeah.
I just have like a swagger about them and like a very like crazy athletic, like the way that NC State plays, they really do rely on these two players. And they got hurt in the finals for, I believe, are they ACC?
Oh, they're Atlantic, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they both of them had like a little moment where they got hurt in the ACC. But if they stay healthy, I think that they can make a surprising like deep run in this tournament. And their coach,
Mhm.
who has like a little Caesar's haircut, I'm rooting for him. I like him a lot.
Well,
every time I see him, I'm like, you got the bangs, sir. This is really I like this.
the full Caesar. I also like NC State because I like their mascot and their
Mhm.
mascot. You know, we talked last
Oh,
season
yes.
of Jock
Yeah.
Fair about which mascots we would fuck.
Yeah.
And I would fuck this wolf.
Let me see what this wolf looks like.
The
I
wolf
would
is Pan for sure.
Well,
Let me see.
no, actually, Mr. and Mrs. Wolf
WUF
are a married couple, and I do not think they're open.
Oh.
So I won't be
Oh.
fucking either of them
Oh, it's blurred.
unless,
Wow.
unless they change some
Well,
things.
I'm glad that this is getting blurred on my computer, so it looks like it's like pornographic.
I mean, I think to some it is
I
very
mean-
pornographic.
Miss Wolf in her little dress, and then just human legs with regular
Yes.
stockings.
So bad.
That's some perverted shit.
That's unhinged. Unwell and unhinged.
Yeah,
Like, don't like it.
it's the human legs that really
I don't like that
upset
kind of
me.
stuff. I
Mhm.
get it.
Upset me.
She's flaunting. There's obviously nothing wrong with her gorgeous legs. I don't want to see fucking human legs. I want to see wolf legs, which is why, and controversial, I'd only fuck Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, but Mrs.
Yeah.
Wolf can watch with her human legs
I
on
would-
the side.
I would not do it unless she was watching.
There you
Mhm.
go.
Mhm. Those human
And
legs up in the air.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Katie, Katie, who are your favorites to watch?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Basketball, Katie.
Out of
Katie
the crew,
basketball.
I mean, it's every. I mean, Paige and Haley out of this. Duke, I don't want to succeed ever,
Ever.
in any
Ever.
in
Ever.
any iteration of any sport.
I've never rooted for Duke in my life.
No,
And I never will.
I was born knowing that I hated Duke. Like
Yep.
the shot, the Christian Leitner shot was when I was in kindergarten, and I remember it being discussed in school, at home, in church, everywhere you went. So yeah,
Which
no,
is a great first any of our listeners, the Christian Leitner documentary is
So
a really good one.
It's really
I
good.
don't know remember if that's a 30 for 30, but it's on ESPN. It's a really good doc.
yeah.
yeah, it is. It's
We don't
so good.
normally approve of mob mentality, but against Duke, it's fully
Oh, yeah.
warranted.
They've got plenty of fans.
Also, when I was when
Okay,
I was
also
growing up-
White Lotus fans, that dad is a Duke alumni.
Yes, he is. He's always wearing. And
He's always wearing the Duke. Yes, Duke alumni. So they're evil coded.
I'm sorry to our listeners for this, but it is some like Slytherin type vibes on this school. And I'm also sorry again, but like I remember when I was growing up, it was the big drama at Duke was that remember the Duke men's lacrosse team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff around that particular case.
Yes. But you know,
Yeah.
that's how when I was growing up, I was like, oh, this is
Yep.
an evil little place.
An evil
Sorry,
place.
sorry, listeners that are Duke alike.
Yes,
But
sorry.
you know what? I feel like they kind of like that. That was like that thing about the Christian Leitner documentary that I appreciated is that I think certain schools, not that UConn has the same vibe, but I do think certain schools love to be the villain. And that's
Yeah.
fine. That's horny. I get it.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, people accuse Kentucky of being the villain, which I don't believe.
I don't see that.
I don't see that at all.
But for men's, I feel like that was the thought for a long time. Should we go on to 3 seeds?
Yeah, yeah,
Or we
yeah.
can just move on because we're
Or
just
we can just. I think we move on to maybe like just general. Like
yes. My other player I'm watching though on Kentucky, Georgia Amore, I love. Australian player.
I love her.
She's 5'6", and yeah, and does Kenny?
I didn't even know you were allowed to
Kenny
be that tall.
Brooks drags her and is like, even at 5'6", man, she really moves around that court.
Well, he has to drag her. She's so little. Oh, right. We don't have to do every 3 seed here, but I will say I think it's noted for our listeners because we talked about LSU so much last year.
Yeah.
That they are now they are a 3 seed in this tournament, and
Mhm.
they've had a little bit of a tough year. So they've been riddled with injuries, which
Mhm.
I think Flaugier is healthy for this
Mhm.
tournament.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited to watch Morrow. I think that they have a bunch of players that have been dealing with injuries that are going to be actually able to play in the tournament. So I hope
Mhm.
that they have some kind of like, dignity run. But I can't
Mhm.
imagine that they'll be able to last as long with being plagued by injuries in the way that they were, because you just can't keep up the conditioning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although I also wouldn't put it past Kim to like just. She can really motivate them. I feel like they have,
Yeah.
as a team too, have a lot of like tournament experience. I agree with you, Fi. I don't think they can go all the way,
No.
but I think they might surprise us with their like full on LSU dog mentality. Like
I would like to be
get the
surprised.
nitty gritty,
Mhm.
dirty wins out when they can.
I would like to be surprised. And I will say that there's something about those kind of coaches, the ones that are just like, you're just going to do what they say.
Yeah.
I got injured in high school, and I had to it was like I needed 3 months for my knee to heal. And my basketball coach, when I told him was like, well, if you're not here at the first game of the season, you're not here for the season. And so I just did it. And we went really
Done
far
with
that
that.
year.
No,
we went
we're
really
done.
far that year.
Wait. He said we're done with that.
We did go pretty far, but you guys, it did hurt.
We
No,
did
don't we said-
so well.
We did really well.
Yeah.
My knee was held together by glue and pins, but
Well,
That was awesome.
listen, does
It's
it
great.
pop every
Nobody
time I
remembers
move?
it.
Yes. Do I sound like the Tin Man? Yes. Can I run a marathon? No. Was I going
fight-
to? No.
the fight knows when it's gonna rain.
That's exactly right. I definitely do.
Okay, wait, you're right. There is another number 30 here that we should talk about too, and it's Notre Dame. And I'm sorry, but I put Notre Dame into Duke territory. This is a team I will never. I'm sorry. Nia
I know.
Ivy is a babe of a coach, but I cannot
Yeah.
root for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I feel the same fluffy way.
I can't. I can't root for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
But it's a lot of good players, but I just am never rooting for that institution. I can't bring
Never root
myself
for-
to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Amy Coney Barrett's alma mater. Yeah, I'm not rooting for that.
No.
thank you for knowing that, because not enough people do or
Well,
talk about it.
Tien's a huge Amy stan.
Yeah.
I love
A Barrett
Amy. So I'm a Barrett head.
The Barrett babes, that's what they are.
You're a Gordon
I'm a
Kennedy.
Barrett babe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put on my little robe and I'm like, what's she gonna ruin today?
She keeps it fresh. Okay, let's do the conference breakdown for people. So because we've been
Yeah.
talking to you guys about how the seeding works. The seeding conferences rather look like this.
The Big Ten has the most teams in this tournament. They were at 12, and the SEC has 10 teams in this tournament.
Mhm.
So these are the two most competitive conferences, which is why sometimes people look at UConn and are like, the Big East wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Yeah, what's a big deal with the Big East? What's the big deal with the Big East? And And also, one other thing that we didn't talk about with the bracket is that there is something called the first four,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of a fun little thing. It's like the teams that didn't quite make it to March Madness, but they can play in to the tournament. And those games happen March 19th and March 20th. And they'll be, you can see them in their bracket. It's High Point versus William and Mary, UC San Diego against Southern U, Columbia against Washington, and Iowa State against Princeton. Whoever wins those gets dropped in to play against, unfortunately, the number one seed in the
That's
respective
always
regions.
tough. That is
They-
always tough.
They try to trim the fat so hard, but those upset games, when they do happen, are the most
Oh.
exciting things in sports.
I know.
I love them as long as they don't have my
Bracket
team.
destroyers.
Yes.
Bracket destroyers.
As someone who's horrible at brackets, I do like when everyone's gets busted right away.
Oh yeah.
Just like
What are your bracket filling out strategies? Do you go heart? Do you go heart first? Do you go analytics first? Do you go mascot first? Do you go heart first?
zero analytics. I'm looking at story. Who do I love? 9 times out of 10, I put Kentucky in the final just because I want to see it. And if I keep doing it, at some point it's going to happen.
Yeah. Wishful
yeah.
thinking.
Hey.
You're manifesting.
Yes,
manifesting.
yes. Yeah. And I'll
You have a manifest bracket.
I do I don't want to give away all my secrets. I'm just kidding. The way that I look at it is I go the number of games they've played. So sometimes you'll look at like a record and you'll see that one of these teams is 25-3 and the other one is I'm gonna say like 27-7. Like there's just like a disproportionate amount of games played.
Mhm.
It's more impressive to me when a team has played more games. Like I'm going off of a
Mm.
percentage there. So I'm not looking at their record by per se. I'm looking at the percentage of wins that they have, because if a team has played more games, I'm looking at a team that I think the more games that you play, the more you're able to figure out how to get out of those hard spots that happen, especially in a tournament of like, okay, we're down by 10 in the third quarter. Well, a team that's played less games might not have the skill that a team that has played more games, even if they've lost more, a team that's played more games might know like, okay, we've been here before.
Yeah.
And so I go for that kind of level of tried and true. They've been playing their asses off all season long. Sometimes I'm wrong about that because the fatigue sets in.
Yeah.
But I think for March Madness, there is some adrenaline boost that happens for these teams where they like the fatigue goes out the window.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I fill out 2 brackets every year. But then I like use them in my other tournaments. But I do a heart bracket where it's like I will choose the teams that I want to win.
Mhm.
And sometimes I choose based on vibes of like if I like the players or if I like the coach, or if one team like Nebraska, for example, had a player that didn't tie her hair the entire time playing, I would never choose that team to win. Like she had her hair down
What?
like this. A player from Nebraska had her hair was as long as mine.
Did she have
Oh
a
my
hat on?
God.
She did not have a little beanie on.
How could she see?
She had just a headband
No.
and her hair was down the whole time.
Who's that for, sweetie?
It's not for me.
That's not for her.
It's not for her. It's not for her play.
She's got some stupid ass boyfriends in the stand. That boyfriend, that boyfriend is like, sweetie, I love that you play sports. It's just the guys are kind of saying that I'm gay for dating an athlete. So I was just wondering, like,
hair doll.
I'm gonna bring the boys to this game, but if you could just look hot.
Can you imagine dribbling and being well?
No, I can't. I can't. Because
Pull her
why?
hair down.
My hair was so fucking slicked back on my fucking head. I could barely breathe. Truly, like I couldn't blink. And then I had pre-wrap to keep the flyaways.
Yes, that's what you have to
touching my
do.
face. Because it is so distracting to have hair when you're playing sports. It's so hard.
I like, and what was most surprising is she was a freshman and their leading scorer. She was one of their like most.
I guess
It really defied all logic.
Wait.
now.
Is Ratatouille in her hair? Is she not the one controlling things?
Wait a minute, Kim. Wait.
wait,
Katie, this
wait,
is an amazing movie idea. We have to talk to our friend Bob Iger because if I could have like a Ratatouille women's sports animation.
Our friend,
Yes, our
Our
friend
friend.
Bob Iger,
So
beloved Bob, friend of the pod.
friend of the pod. Except in the cartoon, the athlete, she's still wearing a chef's hat on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Ratatouille's like son, who's like a
Yes.
disappointment because doesn't want to be a chef, but is a great
Yes.
basketball
And
player.
he's actually a mouse.
And he's a mouse
He's a mouse.
and a basketball player.
Ratatouille.
Mouseatouille.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're writing this.
Listeners, are you listening?
Okay, you're writing. We're writing this. I do hard, and then the next one I do more like what you were doing, fight, like a little more like I'm looking at numbers, I'm looking at
Yeah.
who they're playing, I'm going a
Mhm.
little more analytics based.
Yeah, like who what's their schedule like? Because there are some
Yes.
teams that have like an incredible if they're like making up numbers here, but they're 40-0. And then you
Mhm.
look and they've played all high school teams for some reason, and you're like, okay, well, if I hadn't seen that, I would have picked you to beat LSU.
Yes. Or like and also tournament experience, like
Yes.
big
Yes, it's
tournament
huge.
more often. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think even the teams that are on TV more is something that I'll be thinking about
Yeah,
this year.
agreed.
Because it's such a mind fuck to get
Mhm.
even like when we would go into the state championship and the size of the crowd, we were always playing we were playing girls high school basketball, and so nobody would ever show up. And then when you went to the state championships, you would face these teams where actually like a lot of fans would show up for their
Mhm.
girls, like and
Mhm.
so we would be playing somehow in front of 5,000 people, and it would have such a mental effect. So I think about them.
Mhm.
If these kids are playing in front of now, I mean, how many?
like
how many-
20,000. I feel like 20, like tens of
And-
thousands
and
are
then-
fitting in these.
That's
crazy.
That's just in the room with you, but then you have
Yeah.
a film
Mhm.
crew there, and ESPN is watching, and if you fuck up, you're gonna be in the not top 10. Like
Yeah.
it is a ton of pressure for teams that haven't been getting watched all season.
And
you're getting, like-
above you.
Yeah.
While
And you're
you're
getting Holly
playing.
Rowe interrupting you at halftime, being like, you guys played like shit just now. Like, how are you going to change it?
Imagine if Holly Rowe ever said that to any of them.
I know. No, Holly Rowe's always like, well, you guys were playing. What are you going to do to be different in the second half? And they're just like out of breath.
I
We just got to get a rebound.
I don't know, Holly.
It's just an honor to talk to you, Holly.
Holly, we got a long road ahead of us. We got a long. Your hair looks phenomenal. I love the
You guys remember when we met Holly Rowe?
And Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah.
unbelievable. But
It was unbelievable.
insane.
What a dream.
And
Oh,
with
I really want to meet Ryan Rucco too.
Mhm.
This is not women's. This is not March Madness related, but I did see that because it happened on the day that they were announcing the seeding.
Mhm.
But Natasha Cloud was just traded to
Yes.
to the
Oh
Liberty.
yeah.
Yes.
Which I was like the comments on it were, why did they do this on seeding day, knowing that nobody would be paying attention to it? That I thought that was interesting, and I'm happy
Yeah.
that T Cloud will be back there because I think that will make the Liberty even better. I love.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna even get better fashion too because
Oh
Natasha
my
Natasha
gosh.
Cloud in New York
Yes.
City, where fashion lives and breathes. Then yeah,
Tasha,
Yeah.
Natasha's the best style already.
My favorite, I would probably top two for me style wise, and the dub.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was our March Madness preview. For those of you following, again, Jocular and Outsports, we're gonna be submitting our brackets and we're gonna be competing against all of our jock straps. So please, the more brackets we have, the more fun it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So make sure you fill out your brackets before Thursday. I believe Thursday is the cutoff.
Yeah.
And we'll have all that info in our show notes. But fill out your brackets and go UCLA.
Go UCLA.
Go UCLA. 100%.
You take a little break.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a little break.
And we are back. And before we go to our mailbag, we just want to tell you when you can watch these games. The first 4 is March 19th through 20th. That's on ESPN, ESPNU. The first round, March 21st and 22nd. That's ABC, ESPN. Second round, March 23rd to 24th, ABC, ESPN. Sweet 16, March 28th to 29th, ESPN. Elite 8, March 30th and 31st, ESPN. Final 4, Friday, April 4th in Tampa, Florida, ESPN. And the NCAA championship game itself is Sunday, April 6th in Tampa, Florida.
Woo! Woohoo!
Oh my God, so thrilling. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
Okay,
Mailbag
and
time?
now
Mailbag.
to our mailbag.
Hi, Harry.
Hello. I've got a little surprise for you. Let's see if it works.
Uh-oh.
Jockstrap.
Whoa.
We want to hear from you. So call our line 1-567 231 5928. Wait, what? 567 231 5928. Let's never regret calling lesbian ones. Jocks will always talk. Call me.
Wow.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Who did this?
amazing.
Who
That's
did this,
amazing.
Harry?
That was made by our jockstrap friend Renee, who
Renee!
Who made our other one too?
Yeah, Renee.
yes.
Renee, you're an unbelievable jockstrap. You're an unbelievable artist, and you're an unbelievable friend of the pod.
Renee,
Thank
that
you,
was
Renee.
so beautiful. It was also giving me, in the best way, like Schoolhouse Rock vibe.
100%.
And
Yeah.
I fucking love it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why am I
Thank you.
crying? I'm about to get my period so hard.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Leave
Yeah, that's why you're. why your knee hurts again.
Leave it up. Leave it up.
Okay.
here's our first voicemail.
Hey, Jockstraps. I'm currently watching the Unrivaled playoffs and thinking of you guys. I have 2 questions for y'all. One, I am kind of recently out and was wondering what your advice is for asking girls out without making them uncomfortable, but more importantly, trying to figure out if they're gay or not. It's been kind of difficult. And my other question is for all of you, but pointed at Harry. If you were a professional athlete in any sport, what would you play and why? Also, really miss y'all's accents, so if you could answer that second one in an accent, that'd be awesome. Thank you for creating this space. I love listening to you guys every week. Bye.
I love you.
I
Yeah.
love you.
I love you. Wow.
I'm notoriously bad at flirting, so I don't feel like I can accurately
That's so
assess.
untrue, folks.
Yeah.
It's so true.
I lived with Katie in Chicago, and this skank was racking up numbers, racking up crushes. It was disgusting. We had to make rules for the apartment. Okay.
I swear to God.
No. I'm not fucking around, listeners. That it was a constant thing. Some person was in love with Miss Shaw. Ridiculous, Katie.
You wish. You wish. Okay. Well, even if I did flirt, I don't know when I'm doing it.
What? Okay.
Anyway, let's help our jockstrap.
Okay.
There's an
I would say what was most helpful for me when I was first coming out of the closet was truly finding the queer parties in my city. And like Chicago, when I first moved to Chicago, I tried to find as many sort of like queer events, queer dance parties, and like and go to those with friends. Sometimes I even dragged my straight friends because I didn't have queer friends at the time. But then once you start to make queer friends, like then you can start going to these events. And like that is where like it just feels easier to kind of like flirt and have fun and get to know people. That was that would be my advice. Like truly going to the events and going to the spaces that are like full of queer sweeties.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna compliment it by saying if you're thinking like, well, I don't know that many like queer events or whatever in my area, a lot of things are queer coded. Like most of the queer people that I met when I was in college, I was meeting them because I was in women and gender studies, and I would meet people at rallies, and I would meet people at like book signings for feminist authors. And there are, I think queer people are the best. So if there are events that are political or community based, you can kind of guarantee that queer people are going to be there. And we say this all the time, but the best gay bar in your town is wherever women are playing sports.
Yes.
1000%.
Wherever women are playing sports and watching sports too. Like
Yes.
any of those places.
Yeah. Now, Harry, you had a question
In an
to answer.
accent.
And
I'd like to
accent.
play
In an accent.
baseball. I think I'd be pretty good at playing professional baseball. It's fairly simple, I think. You stand around a lot, and that sounds cool to me. Baseball it is. Thanks for your question.
Oh my God.
Now, our next voicemail.
Wait, you can't just
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
just put that.
Oh my
Hold on, hold
God.
on.
Oh my
Hold on.
God. I had no idea.
I am about to get my period because you did that, and I thought I'd have a son.
Wow.
That was so cute.
That was
So
adorable.
cute. I loved it.
Thanks. Thanks.
I also loved your answer, Harry. I feel like it really matches you.
Baseball.
Yeah. You're a baseball player.
It's one of the only sports I know all the rules to.
And you get to hold.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
You get to hold that big old bat.
And now our next voicemail.
Hi, Doc. My name is Courtney, she, her. My name is Nyla, she, her.
I'm Liana. I also go by she, her.
And we're a trio just like y'all. In addition to being former athletes and sports lovers, we are all also huge music fans. In fact, we're going to see Fightmaster with Orla Gartland this May in Atlanta. Side note, we are fully expecting ER to perform the Jocular theme song.
We wanted our question to combine both music and sports.
So, if you guys were to coach a basketball team with your starting five being your top 5 artists on last year's Spotify Wrapped, whose team would win and why?
Spotify, thank you for 4K video.
Anyways, we love you three so much and can't wait to hear back from you. Cheers, dogs!
I'm obsessed with them.
I love them.
Okay.
Literally take our jobs.
You
because
like
That was so good.
I like you better than I like us. And I live for the
Yeah.
three of you now. And also, I cannot wait to see you on the Orla tour. Thank you so much. for letting
you
me
gotta
do that.
fight. You gotta sing the jockstrap.
You know what? I'm gonna figure it out.
I think you might have to.
Okay.
No pressure, but that was like with a request like that,
You have to do it.
you have to do it.
We're about to get jocular.
I love
Oh my gosh.
Wow, they're amazing. Harry, go produce their podcast.
Jesus, Harry.
Come, Harry.
Please.
Harry, you're always talking about talent, and now there they are.
Found it.
And we found it. No, Harry's always
Okay,
like
so we
ready
already know.
on.
Wait, so this is a hard one that we've been given now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I can't.
Are you guys looking at your Spotify rap?
I am. I'm looking at my Spotify Wrapped. How do I even get back to my Spotify Wrapped?
No, I didn't even look this year because everyone was like, it was so mid, and I just believe the children when they tell me it's mid.
Okay.
How do I even get?
Okay.
Katie, how did you get to it?
I looked up Wrapped, and it made a playlist.
Oh, yes, okay. Oh my god, okay, I've got some in
Oh.
here.
Okay. Okay, who's your starting 5 from your Wrapped playlist?
Okay, who's going first?
Okay, I'm gonna put The Last Dinner Party. Who's that British femme rock band who sings that song? So fuck you, nothing matters. You know,
I don't know it, but I will listen
Oh,
to
it's
it.
a great song. It's a great song.
I will listen to
I'm
it.
gonna put them
That's in
in.
The Sims.
Yeah.
Jesus,
But they did. It's funny.
No, that's good.
I've got that. I got Dinner Party. I've got Heart is on here. I've got
Love.
Lola Young, who's that awesome British pop singer who I'm obsessed with. I got Omar Apollo, and you guys, this one's gonna shock you. I have Sheryl Crow.
That doesn't shock
No,
me.
Sheryl Crow
No.
fucking rock.
I had an intense Sheryl Crow year
Yeah.
What is her album that has the like her first album
with the hair in front of her face.
with the hair in the front? That album is
So good.
fucking so good.
It's pretty unbelievable. So that's my starting five.
Wow, that's really good. Okay. My starting 5 from my top songs, Chaperone. Sorry. Chaperone is gonna be one of them. Mitski, because you need
Beautiful.
someone moody on the
Yeah.
team. You know, you need someone to be
Yeah.
like, hey, let's go, like, let's talk about our emotions. Hercules and Love Affair. Is anyone familiar?
Send it our way.
Okay,
it.
Hercules
Send
and Hercules and Love Affair, amazing queer and trans, like kind of electro pop. They have an amazing. One of their lead singers is Anoni, and
Oh, okay.
went out and did their own project, but was originally a part of this group called Hercules and Love Affair, and it's so
Okay.
fun. I will pick. Gonna have to go with maybe Megan Thee Stallion because I really liked that Mamushi
course.
song. And then my 5th one, let's go with. Let's go with Robin because I have to.
It's a killer starting five.
Yeah.
She's my favorite. She's my favorite.
I love it. I realized that in 2024, I didn't really listen to any new music.
So
That looks
it's
nice.
Michael Barbaro.
These are the daily
Yeah, I know.
over and over.
Democracy Now, just over and over again. No, so I kind of only have 5 to choose from. I've got Tyler Childers, Sweet Country Man. I've got Charlie XCX.
Killer.
I had Brad Summer. I had a Brad Summer. I think she would bring a lot of fun and joy. I've got Maggie Rogers. I think she could play. I think she could really get down. Oh no, I have to find another person. It's really hard to find another person.
No, you can use 2 podcasts.
Yeah, you can. I think you should use a podcast.
I think it'd be
Scale
on-
Turista. We'll
Oh
put
my
those 2 in
God.
there. Yeah. That rounds it out. Tyler Childers, Charlie XCX, Maggie Rogers, Bowen Yang, and Matt Rogers.
That's a really good. Those are all strong lineups.
Listen, I think I don't know that any of these teams have a clear advantage, but I did pick a couple of full bands, and so I just
You did, and the
I will
numbers
say-
why, and they all get to play.
yeah. So my bench is really deep. So even if it was like all the starting fives were so talented, really impressed. I have 15 people. You know,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think I picked a lot of people that dance like this.
yeah. And if you
Okay.
if you are just listening to this, it's all elbows.
It's all elbows, so I feel like good boxing out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. And Katie's got a lot of thinkers.
Yeah.
So a lot of
It's a good thing I'm not. It's a good thing I'm not playing because I would have the entire cast of Merrily We Roll Along on Broadway.
Jesus Christ. And I don't think that they would be good at basketball. So
Dang Ratcliffe, he's just a little guy, you know. He'll get in there.
Yeah, he's really little.
Harry, sometimes you're too gay.
just be quiet or straight.
That means a lot coming from you. I appreciate it.
We
you're
support you and love you.
We do.
Wow, that was a great question. Thank you
That
so
was
much.
such
for
a
that.
fun
Yeah,
question.
so fun.
Well,
Great up and down.
let's wrap this bitch up.
No, we're wrapping
Let's
it
wrap
up.
this bitch up.
I mean, there's not
Fire
bitch
band.
up.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Jocular Pod. Thank you, Charlie, for putting those all together. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon. You can support us financially or you can sign up for free. And there's a bunch of cool stuff there. We're going to keep building a wonderful community over there, and tell your friends about us.
We might even make you a playlist for our Patreon based on
Yeah.
our answers. So,
Yeah.
Have to do that.
so
Yeah,
if
that
you
would be
want
great.
that, help us out.
You can only get it through the Patreon.
Yeah, we're making a playlist.
Tell your friends about us. Post about us. Send a link to someone who needs a little bit more Dracula in their life to make sure that they know we exist. And I have friends right now that are asking me all about how they get into March Madness. Let them know that we've got an informative app for them.
Yes.
And that we're also doing a bracket challenge with the Outsports. And the best way to learn is to just fill out a bracket.
That's right. Who knows? You could be the lucky winner and get it perfect.
Oh, and our bracket has yeah.
What?
No, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's fine.
I gotta go.
And also there will be prizes.
Yes.
We don't know what they are yet, but as soon as we find out,
We're going to figure it out.
we're gonna.
There will be blood and there will be prizes.
Email us, jocularpod@gmail.com. Ringy ding us. Yeah, that means give us a ring at 567-231-5928.
And please rate and review us, but only if it's 5 stars.
It affects us negatively when it's less than that, like
Yeah.
in an interpersonal way.
Like I can't get out of bed.
Let's never regret calling lesbian ones. Jock will
Always.
Talk.
Love you. Bye.
love you. Bye.